I had a whole bunch of notes, but I think I'm just going to speak from my heart today. How many of you know? I mean, I'm 44 years old and I still need friends. Do you all need friends? I mean, I look around and I think I still need people that I can deposit into and people that can make deposits into my life. And so I remember when Joe and I first started this plan, we thought we were going to help people lose some weight. We had no idea that this was a personal growth plan and that we were going to begin to grow and that things about us, the way we thought, the way our abundance, all of those things began to change about us as we grew in our business. And one of the things they told us that your business won't grow past you. So we were on a mission. We were going to grow because we wanted our business to grow as well. And, I would hear these Zoom calls and I would hear Megan Valentine and Tia say these things about how people left their life and things changed. And I would think, oh my gosh, that's so sad. When I would hear them say they would put their hat on and they would do it anyways and they would be determined. I had no idea what they were talking about, but I was just in it. And so, but at that point in my life, I was still living in survival mode. We were still in the place where we were just trying to survive, make ends meet. We had a good life, but we weren't living our dreams. We weren't going out there and pursuing all those things that we had inside of our heart. And so, as we begin to level up in our mindset and things begin to change, that separation season came for Joe and I. And kind of like what Wesleyan was talking about, that separation. And it was hard. I'm just not going to say, oh, it's so easy. We started making a whole lot more financially. And, we started doing things differently and we became abundant and it just became so great. No, people began to leave our life and we didn't understand it. People that maybe used to live in that drama triangle that we were used to tolerating and living in. And so once we decided that we were going to live above the line and we were going to change things about the way we operated, when those things started to happen in our life, people began to exit our life. In fact, when we started chasing our dreams and not just chasing them, but actually stepping into our dreams, things began to change. The people couldn't handle the level that we had come to in our mindset. And so people sometimes can tolerate you in your struggle, but can they celebrate you in your success? And that was one of the things that was the hardest for us, to watch people leave our life and not understand. But this is a really good phrase that the Lord gave me one time. And he said, regret is an invitation from your past to rob you from your future. And so I was determined that I didn't want to live in regret, even if it meant that I had to separate from things and people and situations in my life that didn't serve me any longer. I decided that I had to find the right kind of people who wanted to believe in their dreams, who wanted to chase their dreams. And so, where I started looking? I started looking at our Optavia community. And because I was desperate for friendship, I was desperate for people to encourage me and me to be able to encourage them, I just started reaching out. And I want to encourage you with this today. Don't miss the power of this community because you're afraid or you're insecure. And I know a lot of us, we hide behind those things and we're afraid. But I was so desperate because, like I said, I love people. I'm not the introvert. I want everybody. And so I had to become desperate. And I began to reach out to our mentors and ask for prayer. I began to reach out and say, do you have 10 minutes so you could just talk to me? That's what our community is all about. So I want to say that again. Don't miss the power of this community because of fear or insecurity, and don't live with regrets. Be willing to step out there, step outside of your comfort zone. And, people started showing up in my life that I would never in a million years would have thought would deposit into our lives. We started getting phone calls from people like Chantel and Mo. They were driving through our town and they were like, can we come to your house? And I'm like, are you kidding? Chantel and Mo came to our house and they fellowshiped with us and they had no idea what was going on in our lives. But that's how God works. He'll just send those right people when we're willing to step out. And she mailed me a book one day in the mail. She had no idea that I needed those things. People like Yolanda who would just listen to my heart and she would pray for me and stand with me. People like Diana Burks who talk to me for hours. And if you know Diana Burks, you know she is the most encouraging person that you will find. And I remember her and her husband came to our house and they stayed until midnight one night because they were passing through on the way to vacation. But that's the power of this community. They're unwilling to let just opportunities pass them by. No, they're looking for opportunities to partner with people. One of the things that I decided that I was going to make a choice that I was not going to navigate this alone. I was going to reach out and find those people who were connected to my destiny. See, the community of Optavia were connected to my destiny. And I had no idea when I was going through things where I felt alone or depressed, or I felt isolated or insecure. When I felt all of those things, people like Liz Knowles began to show up in my life and begin to encourage me. And I didn't know that Liz Knowles was so powerful, but let me tell you, this lady, she has transformed just things in my life. And so, but it took me getting out of my comfort zone and saying, you know what, I could use some prayer. And so some of you today, I want to encourage you. This is a community that God has sent into your life. Don't think it's by accident that you're here. I believe you are here by divine appointment. And so today I want to encourage you to get out of the comfort zone, get out of the things that are discouraging right now, and embrace this community. I remember coming on CEO one day when I felt so down, and I just decided, Autumn, get up, put a dress on, do your hair, do your makeup, and you go on live at CEO. Don't hide behind that little photo or whatever, because see, I wanted to hide behind those things because it was frustrating to me. You know, after I'd built all these relationships, all these years in my life, and all of a sudden they were gone. But I decided that I'm not going to live in regret, because it's an invitation from the past to rob me of my future. And there's a future out there for each one of you. And I want to encourage you to step into it. Thank you so much for letting me share.